Hello, welcome back to another video. This is just another figure drawing video. It was another time where I really considered doing this traditionally, but I didn't have a lot of light coming in my room, and it was gonna get just darker and darker. I have the best light kind of in the morning time, and God help me trying to do anything in the morning. Just doesn't work out, but anyway, yeah, I think it ended up a little bit messy in places. What I actually sat down and wanted to do was some cleaner, more thought out strokes, but it did not, it didn't really go that way, which is fine. Sometimes it doesn't work. I think that it's easier for me to do that traditionally because you have that textile feel of paper and I can control the movements a lot easier, I guess, but yeah, it's okay. It's not perfect. Actually, the day before this, I had a headache. It was annoying because I couldn't get anything done because it just bothered me all day. It made me feel like trash. So, unfortunately, it was a really good day to have been able to work on something, and I just couldn't. And I kept trying anyway. But anyways, I ended up coming across this man's videos. He's an animator, and if I could remember his name, that would be wonderful. But anyway, I ended up running into this thing that he had just recently posted about getting back into drawing after being away from it for a while. And even though it's not necessarily that I've been away from it for a while, mentally, I feel like I'm not in the right place. And so he was talking about getting back into your art brain, essentially, and yeah, I actually really liked that video, and I really like studying animators more than almost anything else because the way that they practice movement, even if it's not sequential, it's so nice, it's so inspiring, it's so clean, it says everything that it needs to. And so yeah, I really like studying animators for that reason. So it was really nice to watch his video and to see him, practicing that, getting in a really long sketching session where he went from drawing from his head to doing studies, mostly of animals. I think he mostly animates animals, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was pretty nice. I try to draw along a little bit here and there, but I get very easily motion sick when I have a headache, so I had to be really careful about moving my canvas around and watching somebody else draw and move their canvas around, but it was really neat. So yeah, that really helped me. Most of the reason that I bring that up is because most of the sketches that you're seeing that are in blue towards the left are actually from the day before when I was watching his videos and feeling inspired to draw while feeling too bad to do very much of it. But that was okay because it was just nice to have that feeling. I liked this pose. The guy was leaning over onto a chair. The chair was very interesting, one of those weird U-shaped, fluffy chairs. One-seaters. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, it was a good chair. I considered drawing it actually, but I didn't want to. I should actually draw some more objects again because I'm noticing that my the weird thing that I have with my astigmatism that offsets a lot of my stuff one direction. It's messes with how I perceive perspective. And so I can feel that something's wrong, I know something's wrong, but I can't always see exactly what it is. But if I draw more and I practice shapes and things more, I can correct it a bit against that, and it's not as bad. It's a weird fact, but there it is. So if you're someone who also has that, please do not lose heart if you draw plenty and continue to correct yourself. And one way I would say to check it is you should squint your eyes slightly and then bobble your head back and forth. And that really helps me see where I have something off. So, yeah, if you just draw a lot and you practice that a lot, your mind kind of gets used to making up for that issue, I guess. It's kind of the same as when I had really bad vertigo a few years ago. It was awful. I had it for over a week. And your brain actually adjusts to being dizzy. I say dizzy. Dizzy is not... Vertigo's its horrible spinning nightmare. But your brain gets used to that. And even after the vertigo is gone, you still feel like you have it because you have to readjust to regular vision again. So it's a lot like that. I had a lot of poses that I had saved where people were sitting strangely or flopped over or whatever. Kind of the way you would if you were a kid. Or if you fell off of something. And I really like poses like that. They're very fun. I like the way they manipulate the body, but it still feels weirdly normal, like natural to me. I'm not going to say that this was a super great day, but I also feel like it's an improvement over some of the days that I've had recently where I'm trying to draw something and it just feels so unnatural. Oh, so yes, when I'm setting new shape guidelines for myself, if that's what you can call it, basically telling myself, okay, I want you to stop drawing everything as a big shape and break up the shapes this way, and I didn't stick with it the way I normally do when I set shape guidelines, but I did do more of it, so I guess that's fine. I was actually going to make this video a little bit longer, and I was going to do super gestures, which they get really wiggly, and they're kind of fun, because my hand was so stiff feeling from being more exact. One thing is, again, like I mentioned, that textile feel on paper is really nice, gives me something to rest the pen against and stuff, where my screen feels weird and squeaky, and I don't enjoy that feeling very much, so I end up making my wrist really rigid when I'm drawing, and it's very uncomfortable. I actually sometimes have to wear headphones just so I don't hear it, so that I will draw faster. So yeah. But on paper, it's a little easier for me anyway, because I've done it for so long. I actually used to do the vast majority of my figure drawing on paper. Or with my little graphics tab, my Intuos. I still feel like my Intuos is one of the best things to use for digital figure drawing, because I learned how to be very loose with it. There's a specific headspace that I can be in where when I'm doing figure drawing, I can pick up on little shapes and things to add into my sketches from my brain. So specific shapes of the arm, like how the tricep looks when it's in a specific position. And then whenever I go to draw something, I draw an arm again, I can imagine that shape again better, and it makes the drawing look a little bit more natural. So I like to do figure drawing in hopes of reaching that part of sketching where I can basically take from the figure drawing and put into the drawing from my imagination. I had a lot of sitting poses sitting in front of me, haha, and I really wanted to draw each of those because they were just slight adjustments to the body, the head, and things like that I thought were cool. And then I could see the head was kind of weird here, and so I ended up giving her a bit of a skeletal face. And when I'm having issues, I pretty much always do that because it helps me see the foreshortening of the face if I just draw it as a skull. So yeah, actually you can't see it, but way to the left I actually have little head drawings where I was drawing them in different views. Practicing that because I was trying to draw one of the soldiers from the comic sitting a certain way, and for some reason I was struggling, and it's such a simple view. It was driving me crazy, but sometimes I just have to go back to the basics and start again. And like I said, I was having issues with that whole seeing perspective properly thing, and that gives me a lot of problems. And it also makes me mad, so... Or maybe more accurately, I feel distressed. I feel like, am I ever going to get this right? Did I lose something? And yeah. This one was a little girl. There was actually 2 of them, and they were looking around a corner. And I just wanted to draw it quickly. So it was actually a fairly quick sketch. These are sped up quite a bit. I think 5 times, maybe. Just because I knew it was going to be a lot of sketching. I felt really bad about some of the ones that I had done recently where I just didn't feel like I drew very much. Yeah, whenever I reached a certain amount of time, I thought, I better call it, or it's going to be a lot to edit. And I have done a lot of dog sitting recently and have not had a lot of time to do anything else. Unfortunately. And yeah, that was a little girl. She was supposed to look scared with a teddy bear. I didn't do it justice. I changed it quite a bit just because I wanted to move on, I guess. This one I scribbled out pretty quickly. I really should have taken my time a little bit, but at the same time, that scribbling really fast thing is another skill that I try to work at so that I can actually get down what I want quickly, because I can always go back over the top of it, something I have to remind myself of all the time. I can always go back over it and fix it. Always. So... yeah, I switched to a different color so that it makes it clear when I'm just scribbling. So like I said, my hand was very, very stiff. Really, really stiff. So I just started doing wiggly drawings, which is very fun. I'm not worried about them being very accurate. I just want to scribble, make them wiggly. Very nice. Very calming. I don't care about the faces, don't care about the hands. I just want the idea, which is just very fun. Not too long after doing, I think, this one, I had to get up and go do something else. So when I come back, the poses are different. It's just how it is. The brain's always in a new place. So yeah, I was just imagining someone bending over trying to get something out of a box. Or I guess in this case, a crate. So yeah, drew that really quick. Oh, and I had seen that guy who was doing the animation. He was drawing the back part of a dog, and the way that he simplified the legs was so good in the, croup area, so I just went ahead and tried to do that with that back pose. I love doing poses where people are hanging off the bed, and it is because years ago, I was trying to draw a pose like that, I think maybe from a picture or something, and it was very, very difficult, and I practiced it over and over again until I could do it, and so now it's just in my head. Drawing things simply like this is probably the most important thing to me, most of the time, because you can build on it. And I forget about how to do it sometimes and have to relearn. It just comes with drawing for a very, very long time. I think people underestimate the amount of time it actually takes to warm up. And they try to do 30 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that. And maybe if you've already been drawing a lot, that's okay. But most of the time to warm up, it's an hour to 2 hours. So yeah, it's wild. I used to do, I think it was 30 to 40 minutes of brain sketches and then another like hour-ish of drawing figures. And then I would switch back to drawing really fast from the mind sketches that would actually turn out significantly better thereafter. And then I would get to work on something. But I also used to get up a lot earlier, and I'm not doing that now because I'm exhausted. That's very fun. Very fun to scribble like that and let your hand be free. I think most of my shortcuts and shorthands and things like that have actually come from doing really wiggly from the mind sketches, but you have to mix them with figures, or I always do. Almost at the end here. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going like, oh, this arm, but I didn't want to work at it. I really didn't. Alright, so here it is. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good day or night, and bye.